Hi, I'm Julie Torrens. So we're going to get started with some napkins and with some muslin, and we're going to make some journal covers. Well, I'm going to try. Not ever done this before, so you're just working along with me. So the first one, I've got these napkins. That's kind of a grape leaf pattern. You can see they were $3.99. Then they were at Tuesday Morning for less, and then they were 50% off less. So, and I bought these at least 5 years ago. So it's time to use them, but I like them. So that's what we're using. I've got a piece of muslin here, and it's about, well, my journal is going to be, uh, let's see, think about this. Don't guess. Right. So this is about 13 wide right now and about 10 tall. That's the muslin. It's going to be 9 by 12. That's the end result. And I've got some deli paper, or I think this is wax paper under it. I've got my Liquitex. Now this is matte medium, but it's fluid. You've seen me use gel before. I'm going to wet my brush, and then we're going to get started. Now the first layer is going to be some of this medium. Now, some people use Mod Podge. Some people use watered down white glue. If you watch my videos, you know I'm not a big on watering everything down. And the reason is that these chemicals were put together by a chemist. When Liquitex decides to make their medium liquid instead of gel, I don't think they just put water in it. You know, I think these are acrylic products that are designed the way they are for a reason. Now, I can tell I do not have this saturated yet. That's okay. Give it some more. And if I run out, I do have some gel medium. Maybe I'll only get through one of these. I don't know. Like I said, you're going on this exploration trip with me. How are you? What's on your workbench? Are you doing maybe some holiday things? I'm kind of done with holiday crafting because you really have to have those kinds of things really started because you're going to be putting them up soon, right? So I feel like to bring a tutorial about that, it feels late to me. So I'm moving on. I mean, I am already starting to think about what I'm going to do for this spring, you know, really. Okay, give this a little bit more. Muslin is, of course, very absorbent. And you might be thinking, well, you got all those strings hanging. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, first layer I'm going to put on is this green. So I'm just going to lay this on top and give it a smear. There's a rip up here somewhere, but it doesn't matter. And you see, it doesn't even feel like it's really wanting to stick up here yet. So let's give it just a little more. And let's start. Same here. You know me, get the corners and get the edges. It's not my strong suit, but these feel wet. All right, let's get another layer of this. Yeah, I'm starting to think about spring. Don't know what I'm thinking about it yet. Kind of colors. And I do plan to make some more journals. I'd like to do that. Of course, ephemera. Now this green sheet is quite a bit bigger than my muslin. So, you know, this could turn out to be worse than a dog's dinner. I have no idea. We're just going to go for it. If it's wrinkly, I really don't care. I just want it adhered. That's my main thing, is get this adhered. Now, I've seen people do these all kinds of ways. With napkins only, with tissue paper only, just collage. So I'm just kind of doing a mishmash of what I have. You know, that's me always. Use what you have. Just like with this, if you've got Mod Podge, go with it. Okay, now I've got a piece of kind of a yellow green, and I thought that would be nice to have with the grape leaves. Yeah, there are people that do this with watered down PVA glue, like, you know, white school glue kind of thing. It works for them. Go for it. You know, use what you have. I really try to think about projects for myself as well as for you that I already have this stuff. I don't want to have, there was an air bubble, every project be a trip to the store. No, not at all. Okay. This is feeling quite adhered. So that's good. That muslin was really absorbent. And maybe that's why people have to water things down so much. Maybe this will all just peel right off. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we've got. Okay. Now on top of this one, I thought I would just put a white. And again, if it's wrinkly, I don't mind. I think it can make it, I don't know, just feel good in your hand, you know? Now, I haven't even squirted any on top of this yet. I plan on it, but I thought I would see about smoothing it down. And I don't care about wrinkles, but I don't want bubbles, because if there's a bubble, there's no adhering. Let's get a little up here. I'm standing up for this project, so I'm not seeing the same as normal. My angles are different, so if I'm clumsy, I apologize. So, we had some snow last night. Nothing stuck. We had snow, really, it was snowing almost all day, but just a flurry, just those little lazy snowflakes coming down. It was really kind of pretty. I was watching my grandson, which was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it a lot. Okay, I think I've got the bubbles gone. Now, worst case scenario, if everything's dry and you find a bubble, you can just make a pinhole in it and then just put some more medium there, and then you'll just have to let it dry again. Whoop, now there I cut a hole in it. That's all right. That's all right. I'm just gonna see if I can tap it out a little. But that's okay. All right. Now, this is for after peeling 3 layers off, this is the leftovers that I peeled off from the napkin. So I'm going to put that layer on next. I don't think we're going to need a whole lot of medium, just because these are awfully fragile. Okay, let's see. That's probably not big enough. Make it a little bigger. Running right out of the picture. Sorry. Okay. Let's get this one on. So, what are you dealing with? Winter, spring, summer, fall? We're still in autumn. There's no doubt. I don't think the true winter, according to the calendar, I don't think that starts till like December 21 or something. And right now we're in the middle of November. Now, not this Thursday. Today's Monday for me. Not this Thursday, but the next one is our U.S. Thanksgiving. So we're smack dab in the middle of November. Okay, there's one. Now, obviously, these are going to overlap a little bit, and that's okay. Get some more. If you're too stingy with this, you'll just keep ripping your tissue and your napkins. And if you're too generous, I don't know what'll happen. I mean, I would think it would just get awful stiff. Okay, I'm going to put a little more here where I believe they'll overlap a bit. Okay, and let's lay another one of these down. Now I am planning on totally trimming the back, or the whole piece. So I realize I'm getting probably bigger and bigger as I go with the process. And I hope you can see. I know that I'm gotten a lot bigger than the way I set up the camera because I didn't realize I'd be going this generous. Okay, that looks good. And now up here, and maybe what I'll do is, let's see, I've got here's another inside one. I think what I'll do, if I can kind of rip this in half, there we go, there we go. Okay, a little more of the medium. Now people put just those inner parts of a napkin. Well, I didn't have a big old container of those, so that's why I went with tissue paper. But I know tissue paper can be awfully stiff, so I'm not putting like 6 or 7 layers on like some people do because they're using a thinner product. And again, this is a guess, but I know that even if it turns out terrible, I'm going to have fun trying. And I'll learn something, right? That looks good to me. All right, now a little more right here. This is just a big old brush from Dollar Tree. I don't think I mentioned that. It's a Wet n Wild. I love it for this kind of work. And if I don't get it perfectly cleaned out and it ends up getting too stiff or hard, I throw it away. And I'm not out $7 or $8 like some other brushes can be. Not that they're not worth it, but I've been known to forget a brush a time or two. And for this kind of work, I really think this is fine. Okay, this feels attached. I'm not seeing any obvious air bubbles, nor am I feeling any. I can do another layer of napkin, and this layer has some of the color. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got some of the color of the napkin. Maybe I'll go ahead and put a layer of that on, and then I'll put the top napkin on. So I started here and then worked up, so I'm going to do the opposite. Start at the top and work to the bottom. So those of you in the US, have you got any plans for Thanksgiving? If you don't feel bad. I'm working. So it's just going to be a regular day for me. And that's fine. And when you're a nurse, you just have to be ready for that, you know? And it's my turn and I don't mind. The needs of the people we take care of, they don't change just because it's a holiday. And if the parents can get a little bit of rest and maybe not feel like they're going to face plant into their turkey plate, that means a lot to me. So that's fine. I will take care of the children and maybe mom and dad can get a little rest. Okay. Got this one for over here. I think I already put some. Let's get one of these is not whole. This one's got a little rip, but that's there's. Let me get this one up here. I wish I could hear what you're thinking. Oh, look. Stuck my hand in it. Duh. Can you hear the sound of that? It sounds dry to me. Whoops. Get down. I'm just running out of places to hang on. Okay. So we got kind of a yellowy greeny base going, which I think will be nice. You know what? I don't mind this. But let's get, I've got this one that's already tore. Oh my, Julie. Let's not waste all that. I've got some on my table. And my hands, of course. That's okay. That's the joy of it. Let's move this up. Maybe not be so wild with this. Okay. Put this one on. So you know what I'm doing for Thanksgiving, working, but I'll be off for Christmas. So that's fine. I may have some company over Christmas. I don't know. So I'm going to try to have videos made ahead. You know, can I do it? You know, my health always kind of dictates some of that, but we shall see. Okay. All right. This is looking good to me. It looks well adhered. So now I think it's time to just put the decorative napkins that are going on the top. All right. Now they're going to overlap a bit and that's all fine. So let's put a little of this up here. It's really feeling nice under my brush. I don't know how to describe it, but it feels good. All right, I may not have put enough. We'll see. Yeah, I need to bring it down just a little more. There we go. I think that will do it. And there's one. Aren't the colors of these just beautiful, these napkins? I mean, they really, no kidding. I'm not just saying it. I just think they're beautiful. And you can get them with metallics and just anything. And they're just beautiful. I think they are. If you have a Tuesday morning in the US, that can be a marvelous place to get them because they've got those packs of napkins that somewhere was selling them for $6 and $7 a pack. No kidding. And then I still don't buy them at their regular price. But again, I don't have room to have a big old tub of them waiting on the side. I just don't have the space. I'm just grabbing another one. Now these are going to overlap. I'm not going to worry about it. I think that's okay. And this is going to take, I would assume, days to dry. At least one, I mean, at least 24 hours, I would think. Oh, that got a good size wrinkle in it. That's okay. Okay. To not have it run all over. Okay, now, I think for this bottom part, I'm just going to cut this quick in half. And yeah, tearing edges are beautiful, but I want to keep this moving and all the other edges are straight. You know what I mean? So I don't feel like I'm changing up the game. I mean, I am completely off of the under papers. Who knows? I could be just gluing this straight to my board, straight to my table. Hope not, but heaven only knows. It feels now under my brush cushiony. Okay. Last one for this one. Now there was prep time before this. So if this is a project you're considering doing, for me, you know, gathering my supplies, taking these tissues or these napkins and separating them, although that's not my forte anyway. My fine motor skills are not improving with age. So it took me a minute, but just know you see some of the longest videos. Oh, I'm reaching. Some of the longest videos with me, and you still don't see the whole process. So this is going to take a moment, but I honestly think it'll be worth it. Hey, where do you think you're going, huh? Okay. Well, I'm going to call this one done. Might be a big mistake, but I'm just going to pick this all up and set it aside to dry. Hey, it didn't stick to my table, right? There's a plus. Okay. Next. I'm right here. I didn't leave you. I've got the other one ready. Now these belong to the other project, so I'm just gonna set those aside. You probably couldn't even see what I was doing. All right, let's get going with another one. So this one, I've got these napkins. Now this is from Dollar Tree. And let me just tell you about Dollar Tree. Good value, and I bought these back when they was just $1. But look what happens when you open them. And this is common. Do you see? But what I was going to do is just use it as the stripe as a design element in it. So I've already got some separated, and here we go. So the first layer on this, I thought I would just do with this peach. So, and this one is the same size. The muslin is the same size as what we were working with earlier. You see how it fits in the screen? So when it ends up going off of the screen, now this is awfully big. I think we'll just be wrestling with it. So let's cut it down. I think we can cut it down right here. And this can be saved for another day. And I think this will definitely get us, I'm going to cut some of this edge off. I think this will definitely get us covered in peach. Now how are we? Okay. There's no sense in having it way too big. All right. On we go. And that corner wants to give me a little fit, but that's all right. Now, I remember we need just a little bit more of this for the first layer because the muslin is going to absorb. Let's see if we can get that corner to lay down. Probably not. It will eventually. You will succumb. All right, here. My brush is obviously now more saturated as well. So that's going to help this process quite a bit. That's why I like to wet my brush first anyway. Not that I'm trying to dilute the products, but because I believe that you don't lose so much product deep into the bristles. I mean, that's what I was taught in art school, so we shall see. Yeah, I know what you're thinking now. You went to art school? Well, I did. I was very young, but I went for quite a few years. All right, let's start with the peach. Are you looking forward to seeing what this looks like when it's done? Let me know. I do plan to show you, good, bad, or otherwise. But now that it's colder out and the furnace is running, I think that the dry time will be improved by that, don't you? Because I don't have a humidifier going. So I think it'll dry. I mean, I don't think it'll dry instantly, but I think it'll dry quicker than when it was just having the windows open in the fall. All right. Put a little more on and then start with the peach. This is definitely, it's the brush. You know, when I was saying it was so dry, it felt dry. It was that the brush was just still absorbing so much, even though I wet it. Okay, there. Now, layer number 1. We still have plenty over the edge, so that's good. Now, when we're buying things like gel medium or Mod Podge or even glue and all that. These projects aren't free. But go to Etsy and take a look at what these journals sell for. And I think they're worth every nickel. Yes, some of them are $50, some of them are $250. And there's a reason. You know, it's not that one is better than the other. They're just different. Okay, now I thought on top of that peach, I would put this peach. But again, I'm going to give this a quick cut. I may be able to use some of these scraps when I'm making the journal. I think that looks like a good fit. All right. Get some more on here. One thing about, for me, with gel medium, well, this isn't gel, just matte medium versus Mod Podge. There's no odor to this. And Mod Podge gets a little bit, I can smell it, you know. And after a while, I mean, you start working on these projects for a couple of hours, that starts to get to me. Now, you know, maybe not get to you. Some people, I'm sure, think it smells great. But for me, and then the other thing about Mod Podge, again, my experience, is that it's a little sticky or a little tacky. Now, some people use like different waxes and other finishes, and you know, that's fine. I saw one lady, she was saying that she just puts baby powder on it. Again, fine, but I haven't yet had that situation. Is this brush? Yeah, it's pink tipped. I was going to say, is the peach coming up? But no, the brush is pink tipped. Again, I don't mind the wrinkles. And this tissue, it's just a little bit hardier. So I think that's why it's more apt to wrinkle. I don't care about the wrinkles. I just don't want air. Like here's an air bubble. And we work that off the edge. Air bubbles can be a problem once it's dry. Okay. Now, that looks good to me. Next, I'm going to put the inner parts of the napkin. Just grabbing that. And the grape ones, they were 3 layers. The black and white from Dollar Tree, only 2. I've never had a napkin before, but I have had them be 2 layers or 3, where I'm pulling off either 1 layer or 2. And this one, I pulled off 1 layer. The grape leaves, I pulled off 2 layers. I like the way this made the peach and the flowers look, adding this white coating. And I honestly think I have completely covered the muslin with this one napkin, sticking a little bit to my hand. Okay. Okay. This is an air bubble. Sometimes if you just pat it, I think you can create maybe some little micro holes and then the air will escape. Doesn't take much for a oxygen cell to come out. There we go. Okay, I'm going to do one more of napkin, of the napkin liner. Get this on here. I know people just pour gallons onto this that I've seen do this type. I mean, again, I'm not following anyone's directions to the letter, that's for sure. It's just kind of a composite of what I think with what I have to come up with something similar. Okay. I will tell you this. I find that pouring and going along with this, it feels easier than when I see people having to try to dip a brush into a great big jug. I just feel like this is a little handier having a pour. I mean, if for some reason I was going to use a product that poured, or that, you know, that was like that you were supposed to dunk a brush in, I think I'd put it in something that I could squeeze bottle, because this is handy. Okay. Good, good, good. Now, it is going to be a little more transparent when it dries. Not a lot, but a lot of the white that we just put on will dye back a little bit. Okay, now for the black stripes. Let's see. I've got 3 of them. And I'm thinking, what am I thinking? Like this way? Maybe I'll put this one on here. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Good thing, since I've already laid it on there. Put this one on there, and then put the other one across the top. Now, I realize some of this on the bottom is going to be cut right off, but that's okay. I want this to look arty. I don't want it to look sloppy, but I want it to look arty. Okay. And now I'm going to put the other one. Can I turn this? Put the other one at the bottom. Like this. Okay. If you could see the one that I can see that's drying, how much darker it already is, because the white is settling down, both from the gel medium, which is a little, not opaque, but kind of translucent, I guess, when you first put it on. You know, it leaves a little white, milky coating. And there we have it. Now, I'm going to sit. That's been a long time for me, this old bird standing. But I can see some bubbles. I want to work them out. Okay. And like I said, worst case scenario is that we'll just have to make a few pinholes and let the air out and reattach. It's all fixable. Okay, well, let's see. I think this looks very 70s and fun, don't you? Okay, well, when these are dry, I will certainly let you know. In the meantime, if you like this, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments how you think they're going to turn out. And in the meantime, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.